game jam can teach you. Is anyone here not taken part in a game jam before? Yeah. Sweet. Oh yeah, that's fine. So just to give you a bit of background. So that's a good introduction. So what game jam do you how to succeed specifically at game jams? Success is not just about winning, it's also about what you achieve during them and all that. So there we go. So my name's Adam, I run a company up in East Yorkshire. BetaJester, this is what we're doing here. Meant to work. No, that's fine. So you can find more about us on Twitter and me and BetaJester is BetaJester. So we work on, we do a couple of our own games, we're working with Switch at the minute, but we also do a lot of work for clients, VR, AR, that stuff. But we came out of doing game jams. So we started, my first game jam was 7 years ago. And we basically formed a team formed around just doing a game jam with a student, and over multiple periods, as a group of people, so there's 3 of us in the company. I basically went on to form BetaJester based on top of that, based on the similar sort of principles that we had during our game jams. So we build initial prototypes, we iterate on them, we improve, we build something that works, and then work on making it better. So what I'm going to talk about today is about how you can take the skills into game jam and go into a game jam with the mindset of building something that improves your skills, that gives you the experience, and then you can take that forward into the games industry. So game jams themselves, for anyone who's interested in this here, is actually the theme from Global Game Jam 2015, I think. So in your heads, you're trying to think of a game that involves that. There you go. So game jams are basically going to give you all these sorts of skills. There's a lot of things you can learn from a game jam. Essentially, it's like working on a project, but you have a very short period of time to build something. So it's a really smushed way of trying to apply all those. Especially the value of sleep, that's really important. If you think you can get through a game jam without sleeping, I mean, you can. I do not recommend it. We've made better games when we've slept for 6 to 8 hours than we have when we try to stay awake for 24 hours. I'm not going to talk about all those because I'd be here for a couple of hours. I'm just going to talk about those 4. The reason is because they're the most important. Those are the most important to you in terms of going ahead, going into the games industry and trying to break in. Those are the ones that are going to be really important to you. There will be time for Q&A at the end, given that it's not like this. If you have questions going through, that's fine. And if you finish and you think of some burning question after the fact, you can reach me on there. So that's my email address. And that's me on Twitter as well. So here are some game jams. If you are, so some of these range, so Global Game Jam is anywhere, Kenny Jam and Proc Jam are online, Ludivare as well. This is a game jam that I started with, so my university, just University of Hull, runs its own game jam called 3 Food Game. I'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. There's also BetaJester, if you want to go that way, and then recently there was the Jam Computer Game Jam, which was is going to lead into But this is examples of all the different game jams that are available to a short corner of people, some open to everyone. The point of this is that there's always a way to get involved in the game jam. There's those that are online, you can look on Itch, you can look on the Game Jam, gamejam.com or gamejamcalendar.com. There's always ways of getting involved. If you're thinking about doing a game jam and you're not 100% sure, I heavily recommend it. You can jump in by yourself, you can jump in on teams, there's now groups on Discords that get involved as well, there's lots of ways to get involved. So let's talk about the business process. In game jams, you're basically mirroring the business process, the full scope of the process. So as a company now, everything that you see there, so in terms of starting off inception, maybe sort of scoping out the project, what you want to do, getting your team together, do you have certain skills that are missing? Do you need an artist? Do you need an audio person? Do you need a producer? Do you need SFX? What do you need to build the project that you have in mind? Building that initial prototype, that first version that sort of works but doesn't look great, and iterating on it until you have something that you're really happy with. Gaining feedback, whether that's during the jam or at the end from the judges, building your final product, and then in the case of particular game jams, releasing it as well, or in the case of game jam, having it be judged. That is essentially what it is to be a business, that is what it is to be in a company. Big or small, those are the steps that any company will go through. If you imagine, you can think at the same time something like Red Dead Redemption, which is huge, all the way down to something like Return of Oberdin, which is very small and one person. It will both have gone through the exact same steps from start to finish. And that's what a game jam is, right? It is a small microcosm of what being in a business, the business of games is. This is, to be fair, the same for any kind of product. It always runs on this sort of pattern. There can be some slight variation, but the important thing is that when you take part in the game jams, you as well are taking part in this process. And you have experience in this process. So you're learning how to make a game, you're learning how to build it, the process is involved. You now have experience. If you go to a company, they talk about, oh, we have a very iterative design process and say, oh, I know what that is because I've been in a game jam, we got a small prototype, and we worked on it over time, we looked where we could improve and where we left out, etc. It just gives you ways in interviews of talking about the sort of things that came up through your game jam, and gives you a wealth of knowledge and experience that you can talk about and relate back to the process in that company. Making a game. You do make, I mean, not all game jams are about making games, but they're normally about making products. So in this case, we're going to talk about why making a game is really important. Because you build a spec. Game jams are essentially, like I said, it's a small part of, it's a microcosm of projects, whether you're at university or a business. And the core part of this is that you're making something to a specification. In a game jam, that's normally the judging criteria or the theme of the game jam. So if we take, for example, right back at the beginning, Ouroboros, I don't know what's called now, the snake eating itself, right? That is a spec, right? Make a game that incorporates this. What are you going to build? How are you going to build it? What's important to it? Is it the quality that's going to be the most important? Is it the accuracy, right? It depends on the jam, the criteria can change, and therefore the spec changes. You build up what's going to fit that specification in your initial prototype, planning stage, prototype it, iterate on it, etc., etc. It becomes important to consider the core aspects of the game. The quality. How good is the game to play? How good is the game looking? How good is the game sounding? All that's key. Accuracy. Did you actually incorporate things in the jam? Did you go out of spec? With the theme of the game is a snake eating itself, and you make a game that's about cars that has no inner circle or anything like that, and you call one of the cars Snake. That's not keeping the theme. I have some people do that. It's cheating, and I always mark them down for it. So if you were ever in a game jam with me as a judge, theme incorporation is my number one rule. I totally do that one. Depth. Then the other thing is how much of a game is there, right? Some game jams don't care. Some game jams say, the game's in, that's all we care about. Some game jams care about the framework. Does it have a main menu? Does it have a start screen? When the game ends, does it restart itself? Does it have a pause menu? All those interactions are important. And that's why the spec, or the criteria, are super important in a game jam. But then also super important when you move on in your career into the industry, right? Everything you do will have a set of criteria around it. What's the task that you set? How does it integrate into what's going on? Have you broken everything from doing what you're doing? Is it within the coding confines of the coding style of the thing you're doing? Is the art in the right direction? Are you using the correct software? All these questions are things that you'll have experience of by doing game jams. You learn over time the sort of relevant bits, and then you have experience in it. You improve your skills and you improve your team portfolio. The more you follow the spec, the more you come up with a quality product that's based on a set of rules. You will have showpieces that you can go back to at the end and go, here is what I built, how does it look, isn't it great, etc., etc. Which means when you then go forward and you go through job interviews, you go forward and show off things on your portfolio, people go, oh wow, that's really cool. Oh, you made this jam, oh that's a really good idea, that's a really good interpretation of that theme, I like what you did there. And then when they ask you questions, you can say, oh yeah, I got that because of X, Y, Z, you know. We cared a lot about making sure that it's a theme, or we cared loads about making sure the game was really deep and had some features, etc., etc. Again, anything that you can give relevancy to the company that you're going for, into their experience, into what they're building, etc., is super useful. Some game jams will ask you to release the game, or that you try to release the game, or that you build the release of the game. Ultimately, releasing a game is by far the most important thing you can do before you try and get into the game industry. If you're trying to get into a technical point. The reason being is that every game has the problem that it wants to be released, which means it has to finish. And that is the hardest thing in a game, is going, I have now finished this game. Games are subject to a thing called feature creep, which basically means that when you make something, you go, oh, what if I had this? What if I had that? What if I had that? And your 6-month project turns into 4 years and £2 million, and you give up. Demonstrating that you have the ability to release a game, to come up with an idea, to start building it, to scope it out, to define a finish point, and then to go through the issues of dealing with platforms, which is a whole other ballgame, shows that you have experience in finding to deal with finishing a game, to going, this is the cut point, it's now done, I can release it. And that's massive bonus points to any company. They want to see that you can do that. To give you an example, in Yorkshire, there is a group called Game Makers Yorkshire, which is the thing for game developers and artists and programmers and everyone to basically meet up. They have one rule of entry, which is you must have released the game. They don't care what, they don't care how, you must have released the game, right? That is enough to put off vast swathes of students because they can't hold it, they can't be able to get through it. And this is like, that's it. All I did as a student, so back 4 some years ago, I made Pong. I gave it touch controls. I called it Super Pong, just to separate it out. I released it on the Windows Store because that's free. And that was enough. I got into the game making culture. I went and at the Gamio event, I showed off the game. There were like directors from Rockstar there, people from Sumo Digital, all these fancy people, and that was the one criteria, which is release the game. And there are so many students who don't go because they just can't bother to release the game. And that's why it's so important. It's just, if you go to a company and say, oh, I released this game. It doesn't matter if it was an Android title, Windows Store, BlackBerry, Facebook, whatever it's on, they care more about the fact that you've been through the effort of releasing a game, you've dealt with the platform, you've been able to get something out there, and the process that you went through than anything else. And a game jam presents a fantastic opportunity. You have a product at the end of the game jam. It may not be releasable yet, but it's a damn sight closer than having nothing. And you can convert that into, so if you go into a game jam with the mindset of, I want to build something that's releasable, and build something small and compact, maybe for mobile, maybe for Windows or whatever, and then go through the effort of releasing it, the benefits that you'll get from being able to go into a game jam, going into interviews with that wealth of knowledge of, I went into it with this mindset, I built it up like this, went to the store, I dealt with this issue, I had to make a privacy policy, I had to do X, Y, Z, but then I got the game out there and so it had 20 downloads, but it was really fun, blah, blah. That will give you so much bonus points to that particular employer at the time that there's a good chance that you will beat out other people who may have more experience than you because they haven't released the game. They haven't taken the time and effort to go and go through the steps. That is for me one of the biggest things that a lot of people miss out. So I heavily recommend if you do a game jam, especially if you're doing it like if you have the opportunity to make quite a small game, release it just because of the benefits of our counts. Finally, we've got creative thinking. Because we keep getting it, I'm just going to highlight for you. Creative thinking is a really interesting one because even in games, like we get to build lots of games, it's a very creative industry, which is fantastic. Sometimes we get limited down because we've already got a project, right? Once you've got the game design docs, the idea, the mood board, the art direction, etc., you can lose yourself in the fact that it's already preset what's going to happen. You don't get a lot of scope for creative thinking. Game jams are a great opportunity to just sit and think creatively for a period of time, right? That's why it's employed by so many major games companies. Boss Studios have their own internal game jam, Sumo Digital have their own internal jam, Unity have their own internal jam, and they come up with fantastic creative solutions to problems they have because they get to stop what they're doing, they stop like the grind of staring at the screen for hours, and go, let's just think about what we're doing, right? Just to give you an example, so those two there, what does work to what TV screen says? Freaking Game is a game jam in the University of Harvard. Basically, you get given 3 things, or words in this case, and you have to make a game over 24 hours of it. So my first ever game, the first game I ever made was, I had to make a game that involved kettle, sticky tape, aeroplane. You sit down, and we came up with a game where you throw a paper aeroplane. This is our first game, so we wanted like 0 use it. But you press P and you paint you get to pick an angle and then press P and throw and never touch it again. If it hits, there's kettles blowing steam. If it hits the kettle, it's blown up, but it gets wet, obviously. And there's sticky tape hanging from the ceiling. And if you catch the sticky tape, it like fixes your plane. So it's all like kick cannon trying to see how far your plane will fly based on power and input and all that. So those are examples of other ones. Let's do one. Can anyone think? I can't point. Can anyone think of one? Either of these.
Dating simulator.
What simulator?
Dating simulator.
Dating simulator. I don't know which one that's for. Is that Stars on stuff?
Either,
yeah. The HMRC tax relative CD dating simulator. I like it. But the point is that even like creative thinking, it's a really interesting phenomenon. If I ask someone, if someone said to me, make a game. With what? Just make a game, any game. It's really hard for me to figure out what I'm going to make. The reason being is that your brain is not designed to just create something out of nothing. We are designed to be creative thinkers, problem solvers, right? We're designed to come up with creative solutions. When we're told just make anything, our brains go into overdrive and like, open world, sailing, massive multiplayer, I don't know. Give me 3 completely abstract topics and try to come up with a connection between them. Way easy, right? And that's what game jams are so good with, because it improves your creative thinking, it improves your ability to, given a set of criteria, come up with an innovative solution, or certainly one you can build within the scope of spec. You improve your problem solving over time. You get better at doing it. The more game jams you do, the more you get better at going. How long will this take me? Can I build it in time set out? What can I cut out? What can I get around? Who do I need to do this? You improve your ability to design games and make games, and your ability to scope out the project and how long it will take as you do it over and over again. Makes sense, right? Because you've got that experience, you're able to then talk about this with development. You can go back and go, well, we had a scene where it was X, it was tax relative to CD, and we had to come up with something, so I came up with this idea, and the problem was that we didn't have an eye, so I brought somebody in, and they had lots of ideas, they all had scope, etc. More experience, more examples, more ability to talk about the fact what you've done with recruiters, and the more likelihood there is, the increased likelihood there is that you will have something relevant that you can talk about in that interview. And that's the key thing with interviews, right? You're trying to get to a point of relevancy with the person you're talking to. You're trying to get to that friend stage, but that point where you can basically be on level terms and talk about something openly, because that's how someone, if you just talk, if it's very cold and monotone, there's no connection there, they won't feel like that you have demonstrated things. You get to the point where you're engaging them and talking about what you've done, they talk about what they've done, that's when you start to get in a better position in terms of your work. The more stuff you do, the better you get at it, that makes sense. The more game jams you do, the better you get again. So I've done about 20-something game jams, either developed or I'm a programmer, by the way. Developed or judged or mentored or run. And also, if you ever get an opportunity to do any of those as well as take part, I actually recommend it because it's such a great experience in terms of looking at things the other way, especially judging. Like when you take part in a game jam, it's like, oh, I did this and this is great. So when you judge a game jam, you realize, oh, this is what I need to look for. This is actually what's important about this game jam. You realize when you get to your game jam, you go, what are they looking for? What's going to be important to them? And what can I build within that? Again, it's more restrictions, but it gives you a better chance of doing well. So, any questions?
I think it was really interesting that you mentioned judging in game jams, because you're going to have game jams. I organize game jams, so you're going to have game jams which have judging and prizes, and game jams which don't have judging. But the ones which do have the judging and prizes, have you seen examples of games which won those prizes, which weren't necessarily completable in like 5 to 10 minutes and low community there?
The judging game is really interesting because it depends on who the judges are and what they're looking for. So I've taken part, like I said, my bugbear in judging game jams is theme, right? You're there because there's a theme. If the game jam has a theme, you adhere to that theme, your integration of that theme is the most important thing for me, right? That's the whole point, that you're trying to fit something within a scope. So if I see games that are stunningly beautiful and impressive, but have no connection to the theme, I will almost certainly discount, because what's the point, right? You built a lovely game, but if it's not relevant to the theme, you sort of miss the point of the jam in its entirety, okay? I've seen people do asset flips in game jams. I've seen people take a project that they were already working on and just name a character after the thing. Especially when it comes to judged game jams, when it comes to unjudged game jams, it's more about what do you want to gain out of it, right? If you're not gaining judging experience, or you're gaining judgment and feedback from that, what are you gaining from that game jam? And so as a company, we go into game jams like that with an idea of something that we want to build. So the last game jam we did a global game jam, which was unjudged, and we went in going, we want to build a narrative game. That's it. That's all we cared about, was building some kind of narrative game. And we did. We got a narrative game we're very happy with, and we've just submitted it to the Games Fund, so we'll see what happens there. But equally, if we go into jams where there are judging criteria, we still go in with what do we want to build. And I've seen games, it's disappointing when games win just because they're stunning but without content or without relevancy. But it happens. End of the day, then this is the other talk that I do, which is about it's more about what do you want to get from that game jam, right? Do you want to build a demo? Do you want to prove a skill? Do you want to get better at doing Unreal if you're a Unity developer, or vice versa? And for me, it's more important outlining that from the start and going, what do you want to gain, than it is actually doing well. As long as you're happy at the end of it, then I think that's you've won. Yeah. Any other questions?
Can I ask you another one?
Of course.
some of the skills that you mentioned, a lot of them play a lot into portfolios and then getting a job.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something else, and that was that you were going to apply with your Global Game Jam game to the UK Games.
Yeah.
I think that that's also something you can get out of the game jam, as you mentioned, like a prototype that you can then actually put in front of investors or have a look at applying for grants and things like that.
Absolutely. So the only game we released, which is an Android game, is based off of released it 3.5 years ago. Is based off an earlier prototype that we've done 2 years before that in the game jam. Our current game we're working on for the Nintendo Switch is built on. I can't remember how to say that, but there we go. Okay. It's based on the code base of a game jam game that we did a couple of years ago, and it was all based on the fundamentals of that. Basically, the game we built didn't work, so we rebuilt it based on that foundation. And then this one, again, we're working on the Pacific Games Fund, we worked on that in the game jam. And we weren't necessarily building it, we did build it to submit it, because the game jam finished on the Sunday, the submission was on the Monday. And we went into it going, we had a previous, the game that we were working on, we previously submitted and go through, we were like, we want to build something brand new, and if we like it, submit it. And we did, and we decided we wanted to build a narrative game, because it's something we've really done. And there's lots of funny opportunities in narrative games, so we went through that. Game jams are essentially a big creative development box. It's an opportunity to just create something out of nothing and see if it works. Which is why so many companies use them for creative solutions, right? That's why Unity have tools jams and engine jams. Just like we want to build a tool for our engine, right? And if you actually look through the Unity jams, loads of the current feature sets come from the internal jams, because they'll just be like, this is a problem. As a programmer, I can never build X, right? Let's say I can never build trees. It takes me weeks every time I want to add a tree, right? Let's jam, and we're going to try and build a system for making trees, right? And they'll do it. And if they can make it in 24 hours, and they go, ta-da! It's an opportunity to take a step back from your normal, your day-to-day, whatever you're doing, and try something new. And a lot of that can be tools, a lot of that can be prototypes, and a lot of that can be, adding features to games and that kind of thing. Game jams present as an opportunity to try out loads of stuff, from prototypes to tools to whatever you want to do, which is why for me, like, game jam is the best way of creating brand new things. And even if you don't make a prototype, your game doesn't work, you haven't made anything that you can take going forward, you've still had an experience of building something. You'll have gained knowledge, you'll have gained experience. Even if that's just, don't do what I did, right? That's better than nothing. Alright, sweet. So, in summary, it's a really good picture of my face in case you can't see it. Game jams are kind of what you expect to be, right? We've been through business processes, the making of a game, the releasing of a game, creative thinking, improvement, right? These are all things that we'll experience in the game industry. So game jams are a great way of sort of breaking into that sort of mindset and getting some experience in it, so when we go to interviews to learn more about it. In terms of the other sort of aspects, you gain that opportunity to develop something that you can then take forward and talk about. Whether that's just the fact you made it, the fact that the process that you went through thinking about it, if you were able to release it, that whole process, everything we do in a game jam can take it forward, talk about, and it works out. And at the very least, take it into the next game jam. So the next time you work with it, you learn from that experience what you should do, what you shouldn't do, etc., etc. Which is the best thing, right? So, any questions, you can grab me on that email. You can hit me